John, can you check the live stream and see if it's working, please? I just got a message.
Yeah, it says this meeting is being live streamed.
Okay, perfect. But you can see us? May as well go.
Oh, I guess the clock is not working.
No, it's broken. Battery's dead.
Okay, welcome everybody to the Committee of Adjustment, June 11, 2024. And this is a quasi-judicial forum, which means that once the decision is made tonight, it's final, but only after your 20-day appeal period is complete. If you have any, at any time, you need to, or you have a questions, please raise your hand. I will ask you to speak only at that point and state your name and address so it could be put into the minutes of our meeting, okay? We can speak in French if you don't understand the lingo in English, okay? All right, so we're moving on.
Through you, Mr. Chair, since Madame Rochon and Mr. Anderson are here, I'm going to use them as the mover and seconders because they're in the room. And that way our other members we don't have to look for their hands. Okay, it is moved by Kathleen Rochon and seconded by Jonathan Sandiford. Be it resolved that the agenda for the Committee of Adjustment meeting held on June the 11th, 2024 be adopted as presented.
Everybody in favor? Carried. Okay, the adoption of the minutes.
It is moved by Campbell Anderson and seconded by Kathleen Rochon. Be it resolved that the minutes of the Committee of Adjustment meeting held on May the 14th, 2024 be adopted as presented.
Everybody had a chance to read the minutes. Everything okay on the on it? All right, so I'll bring it to a vote. Everybody in favor? Carried. And we're moving on to the applications. Application number 1, C3020. Oh, yeah, sorry. There's a declaration. Is there anybody that has a declaration of pecuniary interest? No. Okay. So we are moving to C3024, Laurent and Thierrette Rainville.
It is moved by Campbell Anderson and seconded by Kathleen Rochon. Be it resolved that the consent application made by Laurent and Thierrette Rainville for the creation of a new right-of-way at 1128 Highway 575 in the West Nipissing Municipality is approved on the following conditions. The reference plan be prepared and deposited in the Land Registry Office and a copy of the new survey filed with the municipality. Confirmation that taxes are paid, that all conditions be met on or before June 12, 2026. Transfer deed be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer. That the right-of-way contained in instrument number LT 192843 be released and abandoned concurrently with the registration of this right-of-way. And in the event that the existing entrance from Highway 575 is required to be retained, that an application for consent be submitted to the Committee of Adjustment for approval. Through you, Mr. Chair, and I'm just going to give me 1 second to pull up the presentation because I forgot to see it.
Guys, just really quick. Mel, can you read the address once again? I believe you said 1128, but our paperwork says 1228.
1228.
Okay, there's a typo. Is it 1228? There's just a typo in the resolution.
Okay, so it's 1228?
It's 1228. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so our paperwork's good. Thank you.
Yeah, no, just that. It's good to make sure that the resolution's correct.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you give me just 1 second, I'm going to pull this up because it's a bit of a weird one. It's, who's laughing? The owners.
I laughed too.
Okay, why is it when I come in here that all of my little icons on my desktop go in different places and I cannot find them? Very distressing. So anyways, while this is coming up, I will just explain what's going on. So what is this property is quite a large property and it is accessible. It has frontage on Highway 575 and it has got frontage on Leduc Road. And what is being proposed by this application is to, the driveway that is at the lower, on the south end of the property that's accessed from Highway 575 is, you have to cross a big swamp in order to get to the upper half of the property. So what they would like to do is to have a new right-of-way off of Leduc Road, which would make it easier to get to where the proposed camp area would be. And the owners of the property have agreed. So, but in the discussions with the owners, it came to light that the existing right-of-way that was registered a long time ago, long before they owned the property, it was registered, the people who owned the property owned both properties, sold one and reserved a right-of-way over it. But they reserved a right-of-way over the entire parcel. So at this time, the existing right-of-way isn't limited to the location of where the existing driveway is. It is actually, so the existing driveway is down here off of Highway 575.
To share screen. please.
Oh, sugar.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I can see it. No problem. Yes, yes, okay. All this technology. And I jump from back and forth from Zoom to Teams and can never find the share screen when I. Okay, so the property in question is right here. The existing, I'll just turn this off. The existing driveway is down in this area here and is coming off of the highway. And you'll see there's this big swamp on the abutting land. So this is the land that's being accessed and the one above it. And this is the land that we're dealing with for the right-of-way. But there's this water. So what is being intended is to make a new driveway up here on Leduc and to let this one go. But like I said, this one is actually what we call a blanket right-of-way, where it covers the whole property. So technically right now, the abutting owners could make their driveway anywhere on the property, and that's not what the owners want. They want to ensure that the driveway, both existing and new, will be limited to the area where they're actually being proposed. And in this case, this is where the new driveway will be up here. And if they want to keep the new driveway or the old driveway, they can apply for a consent application.
That's because you can only have one entrance to.
In this case, they can have two because one's on a municipal road and one is on Highway 575. So it doesn't create two entrances under our bylaw.
Go ahead.
What's the white line that comes down through the swamp and then through the?
It's just a water feature.
Okay.
It's just the water. So if I turn that off, it disappears. It's just kind of like an indicator of where this
There's water.
water is, yeah.
Go ahead, Kathleen.
The existing driveway off 575, is that also a right of way or does it connect directly to the subject property to 575?
It's a right of way as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the lands that are being accessed are over here.
So it doesn't actually touch?
No.
any road. Okay, one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
The property owners of the property that's highlighted now, they're okay if they do keep both?
Yes, do you want to speak, Madame?
Ouais,
David?
Melville,
Wait.
575, 1228. Yeah, well, the thing is, they still want to be able to go on that property on the highway
Mm-hmm.
because, they bought a big property.
Yeah.
And there's no win-win there. If they can't have both, then they can't access their property on the highway. And the fact that they want the other one on the Zip Road is that all that property is ours. They need a road to be able to access where they want to build eventually, I guess. And that's the only way they can get there.
Okay, are you the property owner of the property where the right of way is going to be? And
Yes.
then the neighbors are the ones that want the access? That's correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
They're the property owners who will be granting.
Are you
granting the
granting
right-of-way.
the access?
Okay.
Okay.
We're granting the access, you know what? When the young fellow approached us, we haven't met the dad yet there and his other brother, but if it would be your situation, I think it'd be nice if somebody would say, hey, yeah, we can do this. Because if he wants to build on one side, well,
There's no access.
there's no access. And then there's the swamp.
Mm.
I mean,
I just have one more question then. So the intent is that a consent application will be filed to retain the the
If
existing
they
right of
wish
way.
to, yes.
But is that the intent is to keep both accesses?
well,
One off the 575 and one off
Yeah.
the Duke Road, so that this will come back if they put that application in, but that is the intent at this time.
yes, because well, they'll need to, like Madame Cham was saying, we don't want them to have, well,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't come and put a road beside our place.
Yeah.
Exactly, but the thing is,
Yeah.
I just want that clarified because that's not in order.
Mhm.
So if 575, we're okay if they get the right of way there.
Yeah.
And then on the other side would be the same thing, but it'd be a long driveway.
Okay.
Like it's 250.
She just wants to ensure that the driveway, wherever it is reflected on a survey
And to take that blanket
and to
right
take the
of
blanket
way.
out.
Yes, absolutely.
Understood.
You're just protecting yourself
Well, yes.
for future.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I mean, they also have a big property. And with all the swamp around, I mean, people bought this to enjoy it and I think they're hunters and whatever. So I don't think you'd like to go to your cottage in a canoe. So that's the main thing. But
Thank
the
you.
blanket would be just those two entrances and that's it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Do we have any more questions from our panel? Jonathan or, no? Okay. If not, I'll bring it, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm Cindy Plant. We live at 62 Leduc Road, so that right of way would be directly beside our property.
Okay.
I was just curious if we know how far back he needs to go to get to where he's planning on building.
250 meters,
Yeah.
maybe 300,
Okay.
give and take.
Yeah, it's 250 yards, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, can I add?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for you, they'd be actually nobody beside your place, it's just the road.
It's just the road.
Yeah,
It would be further back, and then he's going this
But it-
way, and
and
then
then-
he's coming back
yeah.
this way.
Towards
Yeah.
you guys.
And
Okay.
actually, he wanted an access at another place, and like my husband was saying, there's no way, it's like up and down and then rocks and all the things, so
Yeah, it's too
that
rough.
was the best
land is
place
too
to
rough.
put it. And other than that, I mean, this is our land, so we're being, we're accepting this.
Yeah.
Because we want them to, you know,
Yeah, you're being
and if you
generous.
would have put a road further this way, then this is like,
Then
they're,
it's cutting your property.
well, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
No, I agree.
So it wouldn't have been, you know,
I completely understand that, like why you would put it over to the
Yeah.
edge. Yeah, our concern was just because our property, we built at the edge of our property where the property line is, just because we didn't have to put in a culvert to get into
Yeah.
the driveway and everything. But my concern was, is he going to level a bunch of trees? Is there gonna be a bunch of traffic back there? Like,
No.
I was just concerned with.
There'll be a well.
this will be private.
Right,
Yes.
I mean, I've written up, an
You'll
agreement
be
with,
putting a gate
with
there and
these-
everything.
Okay.
So that,
We've
there
written
won't be
up-
any traffic, like, there won't be any four-wheelers that gonna go there.
yeah, that's my.
well, other than them.
Yeah.
other than
You're
them,
built-
And maybe us, but actually, we're not using that part, we're just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's.
so,
totally fair.
to me, and I mean, they'll respect the noise and all that while they're going by, I
Yeah.
guess, so.
Okay, thank you. Are you satisfied with the, yes,
Yes.
okay. All right. So if everybody, okay?
Okay, so,
David?
just to add, Minini, what they need to do is they'll have to apply for the 575 on a highway.
Well, actually, you have to apply because it's still your land, the
Okay,
same as you
that's
did
what I
for this
meant,
one. Yeah.
Okay, and then, what was I gonna say? So what's the time here? Because you were talking about certain amount of time.
For the right of way that's granted tonight, they've got 2 years to get all the survey done and all the paperwork done to finalize it. It's a statutory amount of time.
Right.
And each consent, the next one would also have 2 years, so.
Okay,
Sorry, I think
Go
she was
ahead.
also referring to the appeal period.
Oh, the appeal period?
The appeal period is 20 days.
Wait, that's what you were talking about, a
Yeah.
20 day something,
Yeah.
okay.
That if someone were to appeal,
Wait,
but in this case, the only ones that can appeal a consent decision
Yeah.
is an agency now, so,
why?
and none of the agencies had concerns.
Okay,
It's
so,
basically 20 days after tomorrow or.
okay, so that's good. And then, well. talk to you.
Okay for now?
Give me a call tomorrow.
Okay,
We're just dealing with this
oh,
application
wait,
here,
exactly.
okay? So if there's any more questions, I'll bring it to a vote. Anybody in favor? Carried. You're all set to go.
Okay, Ms. Legault?
So we'll move on to number 2, C3124, Régent and Barbara Desjardins.
And I'm using CGIS even though Samantha made me a nice presentation, but I forgot to put it on my desktop.
It's okay.
And I'm being bad. So I'm just using CGIS. It is moved by Kathleen Grochon and seconded by Campbell Anderson that a consent application made by Régent and Barbara Desjardins for the creation of a new lot at 223 Giroux Vesna Road in West Nipissing is approved on the following conditions: that property taxes be paid, that conditions be met before June 12, 2026, and that a transfer deed be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer. Through you, Mr. Chair, this is this technical severance. We've seen these before. Mr. and Mrs. Desjardins own 2 properties on Giroux Vesna Road, which have merged through common ownership
Okay.
over time. The intent of this application is simply, they were patented as separate parcels. They have separate legal descriptions, they have separate legal pins, but they have merged through common ownership, and the intent is just to put them back to being separate in the event that they would want to sell the one that is vacant.
So the severed was going back severed.
Severed is, the one that's showing is severed on the map, we just hit
This is
severed,
that,
and actually,
okay.
the severed is actually where the house is.
Yeah, down here.
But it, for the purposes of this, it's simply to separate them, we could just
Okay.
call them severed and severed.
Okay,
So that's the intent of this. They don't need a survey or anything because they have a full registrable description and
Okay.
parcel number, so.
any questions from our panel? No?
And these are
Yeah,
big
well.
properties.
They are, yeah, 64 and 65 hectares. Okay, I think it's basic, just some cleanup to do. I'll bring it to a vote. Everybody in favor? Carried. Okay, so we'll move on to C3224, Richard Martin.
It is moved by Kathleen Rochon and seconded by Campbell Anderson. It is the consent application made by Richard Martin for the creation of 3 new lots at 51 Bourbonnais Road in the West Nipissing municipality is approved on the following condition: that all property taxes be paid to date, that a reference plan be prepared and deposited in the land registry office, that conditions be met before June 12, 2026, that a transfer deed be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer, and in the event that any portion of the municipally maintained and traveled road located on either the severed or retained lands that 10 meters from center line be conveyed to the municipality. Can't do that. It's a
Can't
public
close the
meeting.
door.
Can't close the door.
Can't?
Close it.
It's a public meeting.
We're not allowed to close it.
You can tell the people in the hall to be quiet.
Yeah.
And that hallway is very echoey.
Echoey,
It's the
I
glass.
didn't know
does-
that you had to keep it open.
Yeah, it's a public meeting. So this is this application, you have a sketch in front of you. Actually, the next application that is after this one is exactly on the opposite side of the road. What is being proposed here is 3 new lots on the east side of Bourbonnais Road. The next application is on the other side. All of the lots meet the frontage and area requirements for the bylaw, and that's all that we have. Did you have
Anything, I,
Just a point of clarification on the conditions.
Yes.
And specifically with respect to the road. And just because we've had an issue recently that's come up, so the policy now is a standard 20-meter wide road, 10 meters from center line.
That's correct.
And so we're no longer going with occupied limit of the
No.
road. What if the occupied limit strays beyond the 10, or if you have a fence line well within the 10?
You can give me a call and let me know, and we can negotiate at that time. If there's infrastructure in the way or something like that, we'll talk about it. But we're taking a standard, we'd like a 66-foot road allowance where it's possible. But if there's something there that can't do it, then we'll work with what we can.
Or extend beyond a lot of times, because the ditching doesn't always, isn't, especially in West Nipissing, you have such huge wide ditches because of the depth.
The intention is to, where possible, get the full 33 feet on each side.
Will this be a problem on these properties?
On these ones, I doubt it.
No? Okay. Okay. Is there any question? Go ahead, Kathleen.
The area that's marked as part 2 lying north of the railway, that is going to remain as part of the retained lands? Is that part of that property?
I think
or
it's a
no?
separate piece of property.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Okay,
part of.
I'm sorry, I thought it was part of the whole lot with the railway running through it. Thank you.
Yeah, it is actually part of the land. It is his.
But it already has.
So
a
it's
separate,
naturally severed.
Yeah, it
by the
already has
railroad.
a separate reference plan on it.
Oh, okay.
To transfer it out.
But he does own it.
Is that an active rail line?
Up there, no, that's the Trans-Canada Trail.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions from our panel? No?
That piece has already been removed from that?
It looks like it has been separately severed to take advantage of the natural severance. So, because it wouldn't have a registrable description without it. But it remains in his ownership, and he could sell it out or sell it as a separate piece because of the railway.
Because of the natural severance.
It's been severed before, would this not exceed?
That natural severance doesn't count.
Okay.
Because there's no planning act approval required for natural severance.
Okay.
Any more questions? No? Hearing none, I'll bring it to a vote. Everybody in favor? Carried.
And last and seventh,
We'll do the other,
on the other side of the road.
on the other side.
It is moved by Campbell Anderson and seconded by Kathleen Rochon that a consent application made by, and I'm going to mess up this name, Zidrali Rajoli. I'm going with that. For the creation of for the creation of new lots at 38 Bourbonnais Road, be approved in the following conditions. The reference plan is prepared and deposited in the land registry office. Taxes be paid to date, with conditions be met on or before June 12, 2026. That a transfer deed be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer, and same with the road condition as the last file. And same situation, it's opposite side of the road. It's the portion below the rail line. And what is being proposed is 3 lots, same as all with well in excess of the lot area and frontage that is required.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions on this application? No? Okay. Nothing else to add, Paul? No?
None whatsoever.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll bring it to a vote. Anybody in favor? Carried. All right, so we're moving to the minor variance. MB 2024/05 Jean Mondou.
It is moved by Campbell Anderson and seconded by Kathleen Rochon. It is the decision of the West Nipissing Committee of Adjustment to approve the variance application made by Jean Mondou to increase the gross floor area of a sleeping cabin from 50 square meters to 70 square meters. The following reasons: meets the general intent and purpose of the official plan, meets the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw. The variance is considered desirable in the opinion of the committee. The variance is considered minor in nature. It is approved on the condition that the increase in gross floor area be in substantial conformity with the drawing submitted with the application. So what is being proposed here is to move the existing cabin from its location at the front of the property to the back of the property. And what is being proposed is there will be a new building application for a new, I don't know if it's a year-round residence or whether it's another cottage, but there will be the intention is to keep this existing camp as a sleep cabin. However, it exceeds the gross floor area permitted in the bylaw. So they'd like to keep this as a sleep cabin, but then they need a minor variance because it's too big.
Because then they will be, I guess, rebuilding where the old cabin is now?
No, they'll be rebuilding. They'll be building
Oh, where they?
at the proper setback.
Okay. Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be rebuilding in the proper setback lines. They're actually moving that whole cabin back.
Okay. Can you answer what because I've got just a little, you have a dotted line that jogs around the front there. Is that like a rock face or?
No, that's the 18-meter setback.
Oh, okay. I understand. Okay.
So the.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
The existing structure that's being moved currently contains a kitchen and bathroom, like it's a full
The
habitable.
bathroom will remain, the kitchen will have to be removed.
Okay, and that will be moved by our building controls?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions from our panel? No? Okay. Hearing none, I'll bring it to a vote. Everybody in favor? Carried.
Okay.
All right.
So for our next meeting, this happens now that we have meetings on Tuesday. The council, the July summer council meeting is on the 9th. So that creates a scheduling difficulty for committee of adjustment. So my question is, do we want to stay the same week and pick a different night? Or do we want to go to the Tuesday of the following week for the July meeting? We have quite a number of items we have to have a meeting. Things that need to be approved for other things.
First and third Tuesday of the month are not good.
Okay, so the
I
third
would
Tuesday.
change weeks, or I would change days.
So we would have, we want to go with Wednesday, Thursday?
I would prefer Thursday,
You prefer Thursday, Rob?
Monday
So
or
that-
Thursday.
Monday or Thursday? You
I
guys,
can go Thursday.
so Thursday, what is that? Be the 17th? No, sorry, I'm in the wrong month.
Thursday, the
The 11th?
Yes,
Thursday, the 11th
yeah,
of July. There will be planning in the,
yes, both,
okay.
Thursday, the 7th.
okay,
Planning too, you said?
yes.
Most likely it'll be the 7th, yeah. Maybe it'll be the 7th.
Can we get an invite sent on that
Yeah,
this week so it's in our calendars?
yeah.
Thank you.
So, it was moved by Pamela Anderson, seconded by Kathleen Rochelle. Be it resolved that the West Nipissing Committee of Adjustment meeting held on June the 11th, 2024 be adjourned.
Everybody in favor? Carried.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.